Hello, I'm Rick Hollis. He's Dan Cox. We are going to have a look at this Chibson and compare it to a real Gibson and see what differences we can find and see if there's much of a difference in sound. I reckon there will be, might not be. Let's find out. I don't know shit about Gibson guitars. I'm a Strat guy. He's totally into Gibsons, so
yeah.
What do you reckon? You're going to help me out and see what differences we can find between this Chibson and a real Gibson. I bought this guitar really cheap off studio legend Louis Shelton. And I figured if it's good enough for the guy who's played on more hit records than anybody else in history, it's good enough for me. I got this for $300 Australian, which is like fuck all in American money. So I posted this on Facebook and everyone was going, man, what a score, what a score. Dan messaged me and was like, dude, that guitar, how much did you pay for that?
You know, that's not a Gibson.
That's not, yeah. So I want to ask you, what gave away to you that this wasn't a real Gibson?
Okay, so first glimpses of that guitar I knew straight away was the position of the three-way switch.
Yeah? Why? What's wrong with that?
It just doesn't seem like it's the same position as this one if you look closely at this one. So just the cutaway in here is a lot deeper. Positions of the three-way switch.
Okay.
Also, as well, which gave it away was also the style of bridge that it had.
Yeah.
So this got an ABR1 traditional bridge, which just goes straight into the body. This one has got a very similar sort of bridge to what you see on the Epiphone
okay.
Les Pauls.
Yep.
As you see, it's got the flathead drive on the top of the thing there.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Yours is like a thumb wheel.
Yeah,
type.
And then just also the way that how big those are and where it sits.
Quite obviously, the finish on this, that's a nitrocellulose, and this is
poly.
Yeah, you can see the poly. It's really thick and really shiny.
It's got a nice fiddleback sort of look to it, but that would just be like a veneer as well.
Yeah, totally. Now you pointed out the colour of the pickup surrounds as well.
Yeah.
So that's not a standard colour that Gibson would do?
No, the cream colour is not the same as what you would find on the Gibson. So this is your more traditional colour that they use.
It's
got more green and stuff in it. A lot of Epiphones probably, like even the fake Epiphones that you find from China have those same coloured surrounds.
Okay. How about the knobs? Are they something that look genuinely Gibson to you? Or?
Yeah, there's a lot of models that do come with those top hat style knobs.
Yep.
Sort of depends on what model Les Paul that you get.
Okay.
You'll find those a lot on the SGs with the silver top.
Sure.
Or the traditional Les Paul traditionals. Some of those have those as well.
So one thing that as soon as I bought this, I took it to a guitar store, and the first thing that they picked on it was the thickness of the headstock.
Yeah.
So if you compare that one there, my one is actually a lot thinner. Not a lot, but it is noticeably thinner.
Also the size of the headstock as well. It's like they've tried to replicate the old 70s big headstock.
Okay.
But it's not quite the right shape as well. And
you'll
see the bell on the top here is a lot more like what the original Epiphones were, with the real big archway.
Yeah, right.
This one's not as scooped.
Okay. Now, this one has made in the USA on the back. Does yours say that on there?
No.
No, it doesn't. So one thing I did notice about some of the Chibsons is that's stamped in underneath the finish, whereas that is stamped in over the finish.
Yeah, that's something that's actually happened a lot in later Gibsons.
Oh, really? They started doing that, have they?
Yeah, and they also have the Made in USA now underneath.
Okay.
But generally they'll have like the year model.
Yep.
Prior to, I'm not sure what year they started doing that, but before that you determine the year model by the last digit of the serial number.
Mm-hmm.
The serial number on this one's much more like what the old 59s and 58s and stuff are. It's got the vintage serial number on it because it's a 1960 classic.
Okay.
So it's made sort of more like the vintage reissues.
So just give us a look at the machine heads on that on the back, mate. These are styled like those, and these actually even say Gibson Deluxe. which they so are not.
Yeah.
I know just through playing this that tuning is one of the issues with it, and the machine heads just feel really cheap. Fretboard wood, how are we looking at in terms of fretboard wood?
Yeah, that looks...
It's not too bad, is it?
The wood's really good.
Yeah.
Mine's a lot darker than what you would see sometimes, because I usually finish my fretboards with beeswax and it darkens the wood up a lot.
Okay.
Because I have a Les Paul Custom Classic at home that's got the baked maple fingerboard.
Oh, really?
And it actually was quite a light wood, probably lighter than that.
Yeah.
And now it looks as dark as this.
Cool.
Or darker.
Cool. So the frets aren't actually too bad on this. Normally on a cheap guitar, you go to bend some strings and it's like a grate, but that's not. Already my G string's gone flat.
It's got the binding up the fingerboard too, and it's a lot like the later year Gibsons have the frets over the binding.
Okay, yep.
Where you see on this one, it's got the
bindings over the frets.
Yeah, the bindings over the frets. I'm not sure if you can see that. So later year Gibsons have actually got the same as what this guitar does.
Okay. What else is different that we can see? I've taken the pick guard off it.
Yeah. Mine's got the pick guard on it.
You've still got the pick guard, yeah. I took it off.
The other thing that I'm noticing as well is the three-way switch has got the nut on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Pickups on this. Let's have a bit of a listen. Let's plug them in and just play some chords and just have a bit of a tone comparison. So that's the bridge pickup. How about middle position? And then neck pickup. Nice. Okay, well, let's try this one. So, bridge pickup. Middle. Neck. It's not too bad.
No.
I thought it was going to be worse.
Sounded a bit louder on this. It might be how close the pickup is to the to the strings. But that bite compared to
that's actually not too bad, is it? That's holding up quite well.
Yeah, it's actually.
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised, man. I was going to put the question out there. I'm still going to ask people what upgrades we should do. I'm going to replace the machine heads, the nut, the bridge, all the electronics. So I want people's opinion as to what brand I should put on here. But I got to say, it actually sounds all right straight out of the box. Now,
it's quite impressive.
Yeah, I have noticed that the G string slips out of tune a lot of. It's holding now. That one there. I'm just going to play that same kind of thing. So I dare say it, that's got more output.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though these are the ceramic 500Ts, which are quite high output compared to some of the other Gibson pickup.
How much is something like this worth?
Oh, that you'd probably be able to pick up for 2.5, 2.6 second hand. I think that would have been a bit over $3,000. I think
About
three, 4. I think
3-4,
Yeah.
and that was 300.
Yeah.
I'm not noticing thousands of dollars worth of difference.
No.
I'm seriously not. So I was going to replace the pickups in that. I think that replacing the machine heads, maybe a new nut, pretty much all the hardware, that will be kick-ass. Upgrade the bridge.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel too bad, does it? You have a noodle on it.
No, it's actually quite nice. Responds well too when you wind the volume down.
Yeah. So, if somebody wanted a Gibson, not that I'm going to endorse playing illegal guitars, but if one of these came your way, geez, you wouldn't say no, would you?
No. They've even got pretty close on the old logo there too.
There's a little bit different. Just the little tail
little
flicking
N.
on the end, the flick on the end of the end's slightly different.
Yeah. It's mainly that headstock shape, I think, which would throw a lot of people off. Even if you were to refinish the guitar, you'd probably get it closer to looking like an actual Gibson.
Yeah.
Because at the moment with that finish, it looks more like what an Epiphone would. Because all Epiphones have polyurethane finishes on it.
Yep.
Where most Gibsons always have the nitrocellulose.
Cool.
All in all,
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool guitar.
I think so, man. So there you go, folks. That is my Chibson versus a genuine Gibson. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see me upgrade on that. Suggest some brands. And I want to thank Dan. Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Legend.
Anytime.